The village slept under a heavy silver moon. Its light spilled over cobblestone streets, making shadows twist unnaturally. A cold wind whispered through the trees, carrying the scent of damp earth and fallen leaves. Even the old church at the hilltop seemed to shiver in the night air. In a small, crooked house at the edge of the village, a candle flickered in the darkness. Little Alara sat on the floor, her knees drawn close to her chest. Her eyes, wide and luminous, reflected the trembling flame. She did not move when the wind rattled the windows. She did not cry when the branches scraped against the roof. No one in the village understood why Alara spoke only at midnight. All day, her lips remained sealed. She walked through the streets silently, her small hands clutching her dress. Her neighbors whispered behind closed doors. They said she was cursed, or perhaps she was a messenger from some other world. Her mother, Mara, did not know what to believe. She loved Alara fiercely, but fear lived in the corners of her heart. During the day, she tried to coax her daughter into speaking. She offered toys, sweets, and soft lullabies. Alara never answered. Her silence was total, impenetrable, yet filled with a strange presence. The clock struck 12, heavy and deliberate. Its chime rolled through the crooked streets, echoing off the stone walls. Alara's body stiffened. She rose from the floor with slow, deliberate movements. Her small feet touched the cold boards quietly, almost floating. Finally, her lips parted. The voice that emerged was soft, yet sharper than any words her mother had ever heard. It carried knowledge, warning, and something ancient. It seemed older than time, as though it had traveled across centuries to speak now. "They come when the world forgets the night," she whispered. Her mother's heart skipped a beat. The words sent shivers down her spine. "What comes?" she asked, voice barely audible. Alara only smiled faintly. "They come from the corners where shadows breathe," she said. Her eyes glowed in the candlelight, silver and eerie. Mara felt the air grow thick and heavy. Her chest tightened, her breathing shallow. She wanted to run, but her feet refused to move. A sudden knock rattled the old wooden door. Alara did not flinch. Her mother gripped the candle, its wax burning her fingers. The knock came again, slower this time. Deliberate, unyielding. "They are patient," Alara whispered. Her voice was calm, unnervingly calm. "They wait for the silence of the world." The door creaked open by itself. The hallway beyond was swallowed by darkness. Mara could see nothing, but she felt the presence pressing against her. Cold, thin, and alive. Something moved at the edges of her vision. Alara rose, small and delicate, yet commanding. She spoke to the darkness, her words a chant. Her voice grew sharper, louder, echoing off the walls. The shadows twisted, stretching unnaturally toward her. They recoiled when she spoke, then advanced again. Mara felt a hand brush against her arm. Cold, clammy, impossibly thin. Her scream caught in her throat. Alara's eyes met hers. "They listen to me," she said. Her gaze held a power her mother could not name. The candle flickered violently, then went out. Darkness swallowed them whole. Mara could only hear the rustling of shadows, circling, whispering. Her mind screamed, but no sound emerged. She felt the room tilt, as though gravity itself had shifted. Alara's voice cut through the darkness. "They remember," she said. "They remember what humans forget." The shadows leaned closer, their whispers rising to a chant. Mara's heart pounded against her ribs, a frantic rhythm of terror. A scraping noise came from the corners, slow and deliberate. Something slid across the floor, invisible yet undeniable. Mara tried to back away, but her legs would not obey. Alara extended her hand. "Do not fear them," she said, still calm. Her mother's eyes filled with tears, but she could not look away. The air grew icy. Breath formed clouds in the dark. Mara felt a pressure on her chest, like the night itself was leaning in. The shadows took shape, thin and tall, their forms flickering between solid and mist. They whispered in languages she could not understand. Yet Alara listened, nodding as if answering. The candle sputtered back to life. The shadows froze, then dissolved into the corners. Mara sank to the floor, trembling. Her daughter returned to her small self, fragile and human. Yet her eyes retained the silver glow, hinting at the power she had wielded. "Why do you speak only at midnight?" Mara asked. Alara did not answer immediately. She gazed at the moon outside the window, calm and distant. "They only speak when the world sleeps," she said finally. "They tell me things that must wait until the night is complete." Days turned to weeks. Every night, the ritual repeated. Alara spoke, and the shadows moved at her command. Her mother learned to respect the silence of the day, knowing the night carried knowledge beyond human understanding. Villagers noticed the house at the edge of the street, lit by candlelight, where whispers and strange noises carried through the night. Some left offerings, hoping to appease whatever dwelled within. One night, a storm struck the village. Lightning split the sky, thunder rattled the rooftops, and rain lashed against the windows. Mara held Alara tightly, the child's voice filling the house. "They are restless," she said, eyes glowing brighter than ever. The shadows poured through the cracks of the walls, not stopping for anything. Mara could feel the wind push against her chest, carrying voices, both pleading and accusing. Alara's chanting became a song, rising above the storm. The shadows hesitated, then recoiled, twisting back into corners. The storm seemed to obey her command, calming as her voice wove through the chaos. When it ended, silence returned, but it was different. Heavier, charged with a strange, quiet power. In the weeks that followed, Mara noticed changes. The air in the house felt alive, humming with unseen energy. Neighbors who once whispered in fear now watched with awe and curiosity. Alara began speaking in whispers during the day, though only fragments, hints of what the night revealed. Her voice carried wisdom beyond her years, but still, the night was her domain. One evening, Mara asked the question that had haunted her for years. "Do you understand what you are doing?" Alara tilted her head, a faint smile on her lips. "Yes," she said softly, "but I only act when it is time. Midnight chooses me, not the other way around." Mara realized then that her child was both ordinary and extraordinary. A vessel of secrets, a guardian of night's mysteries. She felt fear, yes, but also awe. She understood that the world was wider, darker, and more complex than she had ever imagined. Years passed, and Alara grew. Her midnight visits continued, her powers deepened, and the shadows learned to obey her call. The village slowly accepted her, not with fear, but with reverence. Alara became a legend, the child who spoke only at midnight. Her mother watched, proud and cautious, knowing the world had changed for both of them. The night was no longer empty, no longer silent. It was alive, listening, and sometimes speaking back through her daughter. And every night, when the clock struck 12, Alara's voice filled the house. A reminder that darkness held truths, and children sometimes carried the weight of worlds far older than themselves. Her mother would close her eyes, feeling both terror and wonder. The night belonged to Alara, and the shadows had found their voice.